Have you ever caught yourself thinking, I'm just getting old, it's normal to feel like this? Maybe your knees ache more than they used to, or you feel tired by noon even when you've barely done anything. Maybe you've even stopped expecting energy, ease, or deep rest. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. But let me gently challenge that thought. Doctors have quietly been observing something remarkable. There are small daily choices that actually add years to your life. Not just more years, but better ones. Years with energy, with clarity, with a sense of control and joy. And what's even more surprising, these habits don't take hours. They don't require money, and they aren't complicated. They're subtle, quiet shifts in how you live each day. But their effects? Powerful. Now, before we jump in, let's talk about something we all feel after a certain age. This idea that the best parts of our health are behind us, that it's too late to really change anything. But that's a myth. And the longer we believe it, the more we start shrinking our lives to fit that belief. You don't need to accept exhaustion, brain fog, or stiffness as just part of aging. Because with the right habits, ones that doctors have studied and seniors have lived, you can turn the tide. Let's start with the first one of E. The most overlooked but powerful things you can do is wake up and move your body within 30 minutes of rising. It doesn't have to be exercise in the traditional sense. I'm not talking about running laps or lifting weights. I mean gentle movement, stretching, slow walking, even lifting your arms overhead and doing some circles. This single act tells your metabolism, your heart, and even your brain, we're alive. Let's go. You see, the body stiffens overnight. Not just your joints, but your circulation too. Your lungs need fresh air, your blood needs movement. Your lymph system, your body's internal waste removal system, needs your muscles to contract in order to function. And when you do this early in the day, you're giving your whole system a head start. You're not just surviving the day. You're setting yourself up to thrive. And I know how tempting it is to stay wrapped in your robe and sit in your chair for an hour or two after waking up. But here's the shift. Don't see morning movement as something you have to do. See it as something your body deserves. You've made it this far. Every cell in your body is working hard to keep you here. Give it the support it needs. 5 minutes of gentle, intentional movement can increase energy, improve balance, and, yes, even reduce your risk of falling later in the day. And speaking of energy, that leads us to another habit that's almost too simple to believe. Drinking water before anything else in the morning. I'll tell you why in just a moment. So after you've done just a little movement to wake up your body, it's time to give your insides the same attention. And that starts with water. Not coffee, not tea, not juice, but plain, simple water. Now I know, this sounds almost too basic, but hear me out. After a full night's sleep, 6, 7, maybe even 8 hours, your body wakes up dehydrated. Your cells are dry, your organs are running slower, and believe it or not, that first glass of water is like fuel to your engine. Doctors say that rehydrating first thing helps with everything from digestion to brain function. It even jumpstarts your metabolism in a way coffee can't. Here's what I do. I keep a glass of water by my bedside. Before I even leave the room, I take slow sips. Not gulps, just enough to reawaken the system. Some days I squeeze in a bit of lemon. Other days I leave it plain. But I always make sure I drink that water before anything else. And you know what changed for me? That sluggish, foggy feeling in the morning disappeared. I felt more alert. I wasn't reaching for food out of fatigue or habit. My digestion got smoother. And my mood, yes, even that, started brighter. Now here's the thing most people don't tell you. Staying hydrated isn't just about drinking water when you're thirsty. That's actually too late. Especially as we age, our thirst signals get weaker. You might be dehydrated and not even realize it. So if you want to feel stronger, more balanced, and even reduce your risk of urinary tract infections or confusion later in the day, start with water. And when you stack that on top of movement, you've already done more for your long-term health in 10 minutes than most people do in an entire day. But let's keep going. There's another habit that may surprise you, because it's not about your body at all. It's about your mind. And doctors are beginning to agree that this habit is just as powerful as any medication out there. In fact, it has the power to protect your memory, reduce your stress, and even lengthen your lifespan. It's the habit of stillness. Not in the body, but in the mind. Just a few minutes a day of quiet, focused attention on your breath, your thoughts, or something peaceful can calm your nervous system and lower harmful stress hormones. And the best part? You don't need any equipment, no app, no special room, just a chair, a little space, and a decision to be still. But more on that in just a moment. Let's talk about that moment of stillness, because it might be the most overlooked habit of all. I started doing this one morning, not because a doctor told me to, but because I was tired of carrying around a heavy feeling I couldn't name. You know that weight that creeps in when you wake up and your mind already starts racing? You think about the bills, the aches in your back, the call you meant to return, the friend you haven't heard from. It's like the day starts rushing towards you before you've had a chance to even breathe. So I made a deal with myself. Just 5 minutes. Every morning, I'd sit down, anywhere quiet, and simply pay attention to my breath. That's it. In and out. No trying to fix anything, no planning, no pressure to meditate perfectly, just breathe. And here's what happened. My mornings slowed down, not in a lazy way, in a calm, focused way. I wasn't snapping at the news or rushing way through breakfast. I wasn't forgetting why I walked into the kitchen. I felt clearer, more anchored, like I was finally showing up for my own life, instead of being dragged along by it. Doctors now say this kind of daily mental reset can actually rebuild parts of your brain, especially the areas connected to memory, emotional control, and even immune strength. And it makes sense, doesn't it? Because when your mind is calm, your body follows. Blood pressure drops, sleep improves, you digest better, you even heal faster. Now I know some folks say, but I'm not good at sitting still. That's okay. Start with a minute. Sit on your porch, look at the sky, listen to a song without doing anything else. The trick is to give your nervous system permission to settle. Even a few moments can start to make a difference, and once you do that, you're ready for the fourth habit, which I like to think of as fuel for your future. It's not flashy. It doesn't come in a bottle, but it has a direct impact on how strong you stay, how often you get sick, and even how long you live. And most of us, we're either skipping it or doing it wrong. It's what you put in your body each morning, specifically, the first thing you eat. And I'll be honest with you, I used to grab toast or sugary cereal and call it breakfast. But when I learned what those first few bites were doing to my energy, my joints, my memory, I knew I had to change. Because the truth is, your body after 70 isn't just looking for calories. It's begging for nutrients. And the more we nourish it, the more it gives back. Let's talk about how to do that. Simply, affordably, and in a way that keeps your body young, your heart strong, and your mind sharp, all before lunch. When I finally started paying attention to what I was eating first thing in the morning, I noticed something within just a few days. I didn't crash around mid-morning anymore. I wasn't reaching for snacks before lunch. And best of all, my joints didn't ache the way they used to when I got out of my chair. It was like my body was finally getting what it had been asking for all along, but I hadn't been listening. So here's the simple shift I made. Instead of loading up on sugar or carbs the moment I woke up, I gave my body a foundation: protein, healthy fats, and something green. It sounds basic, I know, but it's what doctors have been quietly recommending for years now. Eggs with spinach, a little plain yogurt with some berries and seeds, or even a spoonful of nut butter on a slice of whole grain toast. It doesn't have to be gourmet. It doesn't even have to be big. But what it does have to be is intentional. Because what you eat in those first hours of the day signals to your body what kind of day to prepare for. If you give it sugar, it gets ready to crash. If you give it processed carbs, it spikes and burns out. But if you give it fuel, real fuel, your cells wake up, your energy stabilizes, and your brain stays sharper. That's what I call setting the stage for longevity. Not through expensive supplements or fad diets, but by feeding your body what it actually needs to rebuild itself, one bite at a time. And here's the part that might surprise you. Once you start eating in a way that supports your energy, your desire to move naturally increases. You don't have to force yourself to exercise. You start wanting to move, stretch, walk, even dance a little when no one's watching. That brings me to the fifth habit. It might be the simplest of all, but it ties everything together. In fact, doctors say this one habit, done daily, is a more powerful predictor of long life than almost anything else. It's not lifting weights or running marathons. It's not even about how long you move. It's how often. I'm talking about daily, intentional movement. Not long workouts, just short bursts of activity spread throughout your day. Standing up and stretching after sitting for a while. Walking to the mailbox and taking the long way back. Doing a few leg lifts while brushing your teeth. These tiny moments keep your circulation strong, your muscles active, and your balance sharp. And the beauty of it is, it adds up. Just a few minutes several times a day signals to your body, we're not done yet. And your body responds by staying ready. It keeps you out of the doctor's office, out of the hospital, and yes, even out of nursing homes, because when you move every day, you send a message to your brain and your body that you still have things to do, places to go, and a life worth living fully. And if all that sounds like a lot, remember this. You don't have to change everything overnight. You just have to begin. Start where you are. Breathe, hydrate, fuel, reflect, move. These aren't just habits, they're love letters to your future self. Let's wrap this all up together and talk about what it really means to live longer. Not just in years, but in joy. Living longer isn't about chasing youth. It's about protecting your spark, keeping your body, mind, and spirit in motion, day after day. And the beautiful truth is, that spark doesn't fade because of age. It fades because we stop giving it attention. So let's take everything we've talked about and bring it home. When you begin your day with slow, intentional breaths and gentle movement, you're not just waking up your body, you're telling it, you matter. I care for you. That shift alone creates resilience. When you hydrate before anything else, you're giving your organs, your joints, and even your brain the fuel they need to do their job well. When you offer your body real nourishment in the morning, not quick fixes, but real food, you help balance your blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and avoid the ups and downs that can make you feel older than you are. And when you add in those small, consistent movements throughout your day, just a few minutes here and there, you stay agile, independent, and connected to life. But there's one more piece I don't want you to forget. This entire lifestyle only works when you believe you're worth the effort. That might sound dramatic, but I've seen it again and again. People who give up because they think, what's the point at my age? And let me say this as clearly as I can. The point is you. Your well-being, your comfort, your joy, they're still important. They're still yours to protect. Doctors can give you strategies, I can share stories. But the power to apply it, that comes from within you. I want you to imagine a version of yourself 6 months from now. You're waking up more refreshed. You're walking a little faster. Your joints don't ache like they used to. You find yourself laughing more, sleeping deeper, and handling stress with more grace. That version of you exists. It's real. And it's created by these quiet, simple, daily choices. And look, none of this has to be perfect. You're not trying to win a contest. You're just trying to build a better relationship with the one body you've been given, and give it a little more love each day. So as we close this video, here's my message to you. Start where you are. Pick one habit. Do it tomorrow, then the next day. Then build from there. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're just getting started with a new chapter that has more health, more energy, and more you in it. And if any part of this video made you pause or reflect or feel even just a little hopeful, Share it with someone you love. Comment below with one change you're going to start this week. I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more simple, uplifting, science-backed advice just for you. Here's to living not just longer, but better. With strength, with calm, with purpose. You've got more years ahead, and they deserve to feel amazing.